All right. Well, welcome back, party people. What? What? All right. The block party continues after some breaks in recording. It's now 2:18 in the morning, Pacific time, Saturday morning. And just to recap a bit about what we talked about snack bar, was we did a recording on the big picture, and I'll just recap that really briefly here by screen sharing the map. And this is what I call the beginning of a topic map for a snack bar. And you could think of each of these horizontal sections as like a section on the menu. And we could build out the snack bar menu so that it has, this kind of color and all that. I mean, this could be good for starters right here, literally. I don't see why not. It even starts with something that looks like it would be on the menu of something and kind of ends with the same. Some of the stuff I'm not sure I'd want to eat, but certainly the vegan stuff. Oh, that red crumpet looks delicious. Oh, no, not that one. Anyway, let's just go from bottom to top. Two of these sections are on world problems, but we start at the very bottom with root causes, which are not necessarily problems in and of themselves, but causes of problems. Our evolutionary history, for example, we hear about our reptilian brain and all that stuff. Totalitarian agriculture, which was a set of innovations that we all know very well about, having learned about them in school. The only problem was those spread all around the world, decimating ecosystems and causing overpopulation. Simple as that. Before totalitarian agriculture, there were about 10 million of us. Now we're pushing 10 billion. It's, at the end of the day, it'll have been 1,000x. I mean, we're just 1,000 times more concentrated than we're supposed to be. This totalitarian agriculture permitted and essentially caused a separation between humanity and nature. And whether that separation unleashed a bunch of dark forces or made the world much more susceptible, I don't know. But I just know there's some bad shit out there. I'm not really crazy about that dude in the hoodie. I kind of want him to go away. But you know what? If that's one of the root causes of our problems, then we got to deal with it. From there, we graduate up to chronic world problems, as I mentioned. And one of the things that for me, I just a lot of these are like big mega topics or sets of topics. This is a perfect example of a bundle. The politics, economics, and our entire set of living arrangements. So why do I call this a world problem? Well, first of all, these living arrangements include totalitarian agriculture. That's very notable. And, cities and suburban sprawl and commuting and the automobile culture. These are all parts of it. So this is one big hyper object that basically answers the question, how are we going to walk the earth, right? And how are we going to sort out our affairs and all that? And the answer has been just absolutely devastating and omnicidal, as we all know. That's why I put this in the class of chronic world problems, right? It's chronic because it's persistent and it's been spreading and growing and spreading and growing and infecting the whole world. And, what started out as suburban sprawl outside of New York City with the first housing tracts that blossomed into the American dream. And that idea virus has spread all over the world. Everyone's got to have a McMansion and 3 cars and a boat and all this stuff. And this whole set of arrangements and the rules that govern it and everything like that are just this gigantic mega problem. And then there are those who won't even play by those rules. Bad as they are, they have to create a set of rules that are even worse. And that's organized crime. And one of the important linkages here, among many dozens, is the link between organized crime and animal agriculture. And in fact, totalitarian agriculture is an organized crime against the planet. When our ancestors first started messing around with planting seeds, it was really hard to see them as, organized crime. But, regardless of their consciousness of it or not, it is an organized assault. And between totalitarian agriculture and its major subset, its biggest subset, animal agriculture, including factory farming, now it's an organized crime, not just against Mother Earth, but against specific species. Anyway, I could go on, and so much of the extinction has been driven by this agricultural expansion. So anyway, these are chronic world problems. Now, acute world problems is stuff that's just right in our face today. Well, staring us in the face today, as it has for decades, centuries, is hunger. But absolutely no excuse for that today of any kind. Look, I can understand a political system having inertia and all that. Okay, that takes time. Evolution, not revolution. Got it. Hunger, there's no excuse. There's absolutely no excuse. And destruction of the biosphere, the lungs and liver and so many other vital internal organs of our planet that we're just assaulting and wiping out a couple hundred species per day. I'm not going to mention the name of this because let's get into the practice of not. Let's just call it Dos Equis, another prominent Mexican beer, and then and that's just obviously crippling us and actually accelerating, driving economic contraction bordering on collapse, especially when combined with planetary overheating. The collapse was going to be driven by this anyway. Well, now it's being driven by these 2 soccer balls instead of 1. And, but anyway, all these are acute. Among other impacts, this really has a really powerful symbiosis between the 2, because overheating is driving collapse. Collapse, in turn, is reducing the global dimming effect and driving more overheating. So there is a vicious cycle here, a self-reinforcing feedback loop. And of course, coronavirus is kicking it into high gear. And it all plays together. Anyway, these are just 5 of the biggest that occurred to me right off the bat, but there are dozens more acute world problems. Now, big problems call for big solutions, so the next layer is mega solutions, and that includes basically, this is the unwinding and transforming of everything that's bad here and here. These 2 actually go together. The CIA, for one thing, is organized crime, and I highly recommend the book. The book title is CIA as Organized Crime. And of course, they support and have symbiotic relationships with myriad criminal organizations around the world. Governments are essentially organized crime, as in terms of the organized crimes against Mother Earth and humanity. So the Triple C is just one example of this whole class of solutions in the realm of the economic and the political, right? Veganism is a mega solution. that's been growing rapidly, but is still low single digit, and has quite a ways to go. Another mega solution that's urgently needed, which impacts all other solutions and all of our problems in a holistic way, perhaps one of the most foundational elements, is a new story for humanity, which answers the question, who are we and why are we here? The eradication of the coronavirus through multiple vectors. The eradication of Dos Equis is obviously key. Again, by multiple vectors, everything from developing a vaccine to more effective protocols for social isolation, including the delivery of food en masse, which could eradicate hunger. Let's do it on a planetary scale. And if it's vegan food, which of course it should be, then that promotes veganism and helps stop the destruction of the biosphere, et cetera. It could be funded by CCC. And so there's myriad vectors within eradicating Dos Equis. And then solar radiation management that we've talked about extensively. These are among, again, this is just a sampling. This is a starter kit, but it includes, the most urgent ones. CCC, of course, sets out to end hunger as the first world problems that it solves systematically as a new mode of production for the global economy, which has the potential to spread exponentially just by pure market forces, oddly enough. And then the top layer, I use the analogy of the goose that lays the golden eggs. If the golden eggs are what we want, the goose is a meta egg. It's that which generates eggs, meta egg. Likewise, the meta solution, that which generates the solution, is the machinery of collective superintelligence that we're in the process of designing and building. And then the urgency and criticality of CSI is obvious at this point, but it's an interesting topic because it begs the question, well, is there anything else that could do the job, that could substitute for CSI? And I don't know of a single thing that can substitute the power of CSI in simultaneously generating and then very quickly perfecting and implementing all of these solutions holistically and simultaneously, right? Something which is impossible in our current world of a million different nonprofit organizations pursuing a million different angles on what is one planet, right? And not, and essentially seeing each other as competitors because we're in the wrong model. We're in the wrong mode of production. We're playing the wrong game. Basically, we've got the wrong story. We've got the wrong answers to the question, who are we and why are we here? And then finally, well, okay, if we urgently need CSI, how do we get to CSI? How do we get there from here? And actually, Snack Bar is an answer to that, is a part of the answer to that question. Because if this is the entire menu for Snack Bar, then we, just going back onto video here, if you click on any of those topics, right, you'll be taken to a topic page where the topic is defined, and then you'll see all of the different conversations that are either about that topic exclusively or include that topic among other topics. And as is the vast majority of the cases, most conversations are vastly multi-topic, right? And those conversations in turn, and here's what gets really exciting, can be conversations that we schedule, of course, or slice and dice the block party into time slots for each of those topics. That's fine. Well, those are just topics, but then there'll be, hundreds of thousands, millions of conversations around these topics eventually. But they could also, what we can do, and we talked about this earlier, is scan the web. Like we did some searches on Eventbrite tonight, just typing in like Zoom and then filtering on, for charities and other causes and things like that. And there's a number of meetings out there that relate to myriad of the problems, the on the map. And so we could link those and create wakelets for each one of those. And then, anyway, there's cool stuff we can do with wakelets. Still need to explore that. Likewise with Flipgrid. The Flipgrid really with say like 1 minute videos and video responses and things like that is a way to keep the conversation going asynchronously. Keep it within the realm of video, and finally turn Snack Bar into an actual social network, right? As opposed to, just a directory of conversations, for example, right? So, so that's exciting. And, and then we also talked about earlier, the entertainment, not just entertainment, but digestibility, because here's one thing that this does is, I made kind of an analogy earlier that, imagine you're like walking down the street and there's a guy carrying a stack of books and he's selling books. And he's like, hey, do you want to buy a book? And you look at the stack and all the books are the same, right? And then you walk down the street and there's another person selling books and their books are different from the first person's, but they're all the same, right? And there's just thousands of people like that all over the city, each just selling a single book. And it's like, all right, this is too hard to navigate. Take me to Amazon.com, the original Amazon.com, which was nothing but books. And you could get any book you wanted. Snack Bar will become like the Amazon.com of conversations, right? Because what's happening on the web today? Oh, I heard there's some interesting meeting going on. You want to join us on Sunday? Well, I was going to go play golf, but okay. And then you have to kind of like check it out. And it's not exactly what you want. That'd be like going to the first guy selling a stack of books, but they're all the same. And the book is kind of, that's a little bit interesting. Okay, I'll buy that book, right? Then you read the book and you're not terribly satisfied. And then a few days later, you bump into somebody else selling a book and it's like, well, okay, well, that looks a little more interesting. So you buy the book, you invest in that conversation, but it's totally random, right? We need an Amazon.com of conversations and of topics and of the people who are engaged, right? Welcome to Snack Bar. Anyway, that's kind of the synopsis. And so Snack Bar in turn becomes, our contribution to this wild world of collective intelligence that's evolving so quickly all over the place, driven so intensively by Dos Equis via two vectors. One, it's got everyone grounded at home and on video conferences and not doing other things. So it's like whoosh, suddenly humanity has become, it's kind of like a mushy, unformed brain. There's bazillions of neurons everywhere and they're firing, but they're just kind of talking to like local neighbors. They haven't realized that they're part of this really vast ocean that needs to be organized, right? Google's mission from the get-go, organizing the world's information. Snack Bar's mission, organizing the world's conversations. Now check it out. Among the features that we could have on the homepage of Snack Bar, very notably the map. Obviously the map is the most prominent feature, but listen to this. We'll also have a snack bot. Did he say snack bar? No, snack bot. Snack bot? Yes, a snack bot. Snack bot on the snack bar. And the snack bot will be, just a text box and you know, and something cute that says like, you know, bot me up or something like that, or wake up the bot. You know, something is like, what? If I press this button, oh my God, is my computer going to explode? Am I downloading a virus? You know, what's going on? You know, let them wonder, what the hell? What's this bot thing? I've never, you know, and so they type whatever they type, and they have to include their email address as part of the requirement. And they hit submit. All right, well, that generates an email to us, and we respond, right, being the experts at navigating snack bar. And the thing is, look, how many people are going to stop and talk with a bot when you've got such a beautiful, colorful menu as this? No one's going to stop and talk with a bot. They're going to scan down and say, wow, shoot. Wow, where do I begin? Right? And you know what? It just occurred to me that for each of these topics, there is amazing content out there on the internet, including, you know, a 10-minute YouTube video that'll just knock your socks off, right? Here, I kind of want to pull up an example just to give, this is just kind of a very personal example. It'll take me a minute to find. So anyway, if anyone has any comments or questions in the meantime, that would be super cool.
My question is, what are you pulling up?
It's a video of me singing a song to the drug cartels. Anyway, I don't have to share that now, but maybe a little later. But it's just a very personal example of how I took on the criminal drug cartels in the state of Washington and did some creative stuff. And anyway, so that could be among the material in the topic of organized crime. And I literally serenaded criminal drug cartels with Spanish love songs. It was awesome. Anyway, you know, juicy stuff like that. And then like a link to the amazing book CIA as Organized Crime, for instance, by Valentine. All right. Oh, Cesari's here. Cesari. Welcome back, Cesari. Welcome back. Hope you're having a good Saturday midday. We're hanging quite nicely here. Late morning there. Anyway, I was just kind of recapping some of the previous stuff. But so we could include really good content and then have like, even if it's like a 3-minute conversation on top of that. So that sort of kicks it off, right? We got dozens of topics here. Just think. In fact, I'd love to hear, Nolan, before you go to bed, I'd love to hear you say one example. Pick one topic here and think of some amazing content that relates to that topic that you would just love to put up there in that, on the page, on that topic page on the website of Snackbar. Yeah, it could be a Jordan Peterson video. It could be a Joe Rogan interview. It could be some documentary. Could be some conversation we've had. Like, for example, if it was me, I'd say, man, for the topic totalitarian agriculture, I'd put links to the Daniel Quinn series of books from the 90s, which I think coined the term and did such a beautiful job of explaining just the whole of human history based on that, or pivoting around that. Just incredible. Anyway, back to you, Nolan. I interrupted you.
Well, I'm actually inspired to add a topic to here.
What do you got? What you got, man?
I'm not sure exactly where to put it. I'm stuck between mega solutions and meta solution. I'm leaning more towards meta solution.
Okay.
But I think artificial intelligence needs to be.
Yeah. Sure. My first thought was going to be that is a subset of collective superintelligence because it includes artificial intelligence, but of course, it has application beyond collective superintelligence. Yeah. Very good. Yeah, definitely a meta solution for our purposes. Because fundamentally, all the mega solutions, and see here's where I'm adding new stuff like reconciliation, healing, and justice is a mega solution that's just absolutely urgently needed for so many reasons. The divine feminine, one thing I like about this image here of a new story is it's a mother reading a story to her child. And but I'm thinking, do we break out the divine feminine as a separate? And then these four came from Sailesh's talk earlier today: illumination of the truth, hospice care for the old system, protection of the new system, and trailblazing. Right? They're kind of look, each of these things, like even in all these mega solutions, these are categories. Most of these are categories of solutions, and that's also true of these. I added colonialism to chronic world problems, though again, that's arguably just a subset of politics, economics, and living arrangements. But it breaks it out, which I think is important. And another chronic world problem is that humanity is asleep, right? So this will go on and on, right? This topic map will kind of grow and grow. And so one of our challenges is how do we consolidate it down to a single screen, ideally. So you don't have to like scroll. As soon as you start scrolling, it's just like,
Well, yeah, the way to basically once it gets big enough, you need a way to search it, and once you need a way to search it, you might as well search in a more advanced way than just over the thinly defined topic.
Yeah. But here's the thing, there's 25 on this screen, another dozen here. Here I've created, some new kind of categories like goals and mission, right? That's relates to a new story for humanity and probably comes out of it, but it's still a separate thing. Um, Assets, what do we got? Successes we can build upon, right? I mean, this slide here is large.
Jamin, I don't think I've been seeing what you're trying to show me for a while. I think I've just been seeing the one. I've been seeing one PowerPoint slide the whole time. It seemed like you were clicking around.
Oh goodness. Okay, I got it. Sorry about that.
I think it's because you shared a window instead of the whole desktop.
Yeah. I think that's it. I think that's exactly it. Sorry about that. Okay, let me try again.
Good.
Okay. Well, here, let me try this. Let me share. I'm sharing PowerPoint now. Do you see?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you see this reconciliation, healing, and justice?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then do you see the original map?
Yep.
Okay, great. All right. So this is what I was talking through a couple of minutes ago. There's new categories within mega solutions, and then within chronic world problems. These two, colonialism and humanity is asleep. I added AI up here. Thank you, Nolan. I also had put sense making up here. Now, again, both of those could be part of collective superintelligence, and part of the reason I make that point is, we can consolidate this whole topo map down to, a couple few dozen very easily, I think. And I'll talk more about that in a second. But first, let me just introduce a couple new, whole new categories, whole new layers. So these are the original 5 layers. I would add goals and mission. That's a whole layer unto itself, because there's lots of different categories of goals. What are our goals for Mother Earth? What are our goals for humanity? What are our goals spiritually in terms of this or in terms of that, right? What are our assets of all different kinds? Technology, knowledge, this, that, science, whatever, art, whatever. The 8 billion people. See, if you look at this slide as a whole, it's not a very pretty picture. It's quite a condemnation, really, of humanity. And that's, you could accuse me, the author of this map, as of deficit-based thinking. Well, there's the other bookend is asset-based thinking, and we deployed that in our most radical circles at Microsoft when a lot of the company was feeling very stagnant. This is during the lost decade. Well, we deployed asset-based thinking. And likewise, successes that we can build upon. So assets are, what do you got? Successes are, what did you recently succeed at, or even, long ago or whatever. But so anyway, both of these are looking at it from the positive. And also up here, back to the looking at the negative, here we're looking at problems. Well, what about opportunities, right? So there's some other layers that we can add. And why not? But I think if this is like, say, this is the above the fold map, the single screen view, maybe not necessarily above the fold, but you can see this in one single screen. Then the number one, it's a darn good start. Number two, scroll down and you'll get to these other layers, and it's just like, wow, this story just keeps getting richer and richer. And it'll be like, finally, a Dewey Decimal System for topics, or not a Dewey Decimal System, but just a rational way of breaking the chocolate bar into logical squares that you can then take in bite size. Because again, right now, go back to what, you know, public or invite only or whatever, of whatever form, Zoom meetings are happening. You know, they're just, it's like a Cambrian explosion with each, you know, conversation looking more unique than the one before. You know, oh, Michael Mead has a new seminar and it's on the spirituality of saving, you know, okay, what if I go to that one, am I going to be all set? No, 2 days later, there's this other one out of England and it's all about la da 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 da. Oh, okay, well, if I go to those two, am I all set? No, then there's this other one down in Southern California where it's about body work and transcendental whatever so that we can heal our bodies and then heal the planet. You know, okay, well, if I go to those three, am I all set? No, there's more. And it's just like we're in this madhouse where we never have the answer, right? Part of the reason we don't have the answer is we don't have the right framework. This is the beginning of the right framework. Voila. Now you see the original map here, right? I presume.
Yeah.
Okay. And here you see the new stuff that we've been talking about adding.
Yes.
Okay. And then here's yet another thing. Like let's say you take Journey to CSI, right? You click on that topic. This takes you to this topic page. Here, I'll delete these other two. All I was trying to say, well, I'll delete them later because they're composites. But I'm just trying to say that's just a header for this page. So imagine we break this into levels. Level 0, starting where we're at now. What are the components of CSI that we've got now? Well, we got Block Party, Solution Club, Zoom, WordPress, right? It's this little eclectic mix. Level 1, Snack Bar, you know, Snackbot, Reddit, and, you know, other stuff that we're integrating, you know, Wakelet, whatever, Flipgrid. Next level up, level 2. Well, here's where we'll have the whole dashboard, and then this, and then this, and then that. Here's the roadmap. What more do you need to know? And crucially, it says you are here. And here's the yellow brick road, right? Michael Mead's talk won't give you that. The talk in England won't give you that. The bodywork seminar in Southern California won't give you that, right? This does. It gives the overall map. And this is something that was largely inspired by Cesare, who broke things down into a marketplace of discrete ideas. And I'm like, well, wait a second. You know, as I was groping with what is the idea I want to convey, and I started to write them one at a time, and then I'm like, no, wait a second. This can't be contained in just, you know, one idea or even a set of ideas. I need a map, a two-dimensional map, right, with categorization and cross-linking and all that. You know, that's my fundamental, that's my idea. Boom. It's this whole hyperobject, right? But you see how the hyperobject is made up of these discrete Lego blocks. Each one of those topics is a Lego block. 25 Lego blocks on the opening screen, right? So think of those as analogous to the 26 or however many amino acids there are, right, in biology. And correct me if I'm wrong, I seem to recall the number 26. But anyway, we're in the ballpark, right? We're in the dozens. And imagine that once we have, you know, again, those 25 plus the relevant additions I was talking about, let's say it gets up to 50, right? But it's not going to break 100. Come on, it's not going to break 100. You just, you know. So that, if those are our amino acids, then we can assemble myriad proteins. So what would be a protein? A protein would be, well, here, I've assembled a bunch of those into a story. And I'm saying, bam, here you go. Here's the story. And here's what we need to focus on first. The meta solution, that'll generate these mega solutions. Those will immediately address these acute problems, and we save life on Earth. And then once we've saved life on Earth, then we can get back to a new story. And why are we really here? You know, beyond putting out fires, why is the firefighter here, right? Well, we're definitely here to fight fire. I got that. Okay, what else? Well, we can set about answering that with more leisure once we've put out the fires and so on. But anyway, so I'm assembling these amino acids into a specific structure and saying, voila, here's my big idea. What's your big idea? Right? And so it just provides a toolkit for having conversations about our problems and strategies for solving them, which we urgently need. In fact, there's nothing else to talk about right now but putting out the fire. And if we delay that conversation much longer, the building will be burned down and the kids in the attic will be dead, all of them. So we have real urgency to do this. Now, here's what I'm positing if you take it to a next level up, bigger picture. So just as there's all these conversations happening all over the place, some of these conversations are starting to cluster, right? Rebel wisdom itself is a beautiful example of a cluster of conversations. There's all these different conversations happening within rebel wisdom. They're not just a one-trick pony, right? They're talking about this and that, and all these different things. Okay, great. They're a cluster. Snack bar will be a cluster, right? Or a clustering mechanism. And let's say there's all different kinds of clusters all over the place, all around the world. You know, there might be a few dozen or something like that. I would say the big game within that arena, within the planetary arena of all the clusters of these transformational conversations, the game is federation. Let's create a federation of these clusters. Let's not try to be the cluster buster. It says, no, our cluster is better than yours. We're gonna bust yours up, and you guys come over here instead. No, come on. Let's not do it as a competitive thing. I think having different clusters with different architectures and different ethos and culture, I think that's a healthy thing, right? We shouldn't try to be all one monocluster, from monoculture to monocluster, right? So, well, let's get to work on the federation of clusters, for crying out loud. Why delay that? Let's reach out to Rebel Wisdom. Hey, we're creating a social network of actual conversations. We think of it as a cluster and directory and social network and whatnot. We see you're doing something similar. Can we talk? Why don't you come over to it? We're having a party this Friday. Why don't you come on over? We're throwing a party, dudes. Come on over. Right? And let's talk about the federation of clusters. Let's get it on. So let's build Snack Bar so that we've got a cluster to bring to the federation. But it also tells the story of how we're looking at this. And, you know, collective superintelligence will be front and center. And we've got some good material for that. And, you know, you click on that and, you know, that'll take you to, yes, it's a topic page for that. You know what? Voila. Well, I mean, the thing is, we're just now sitting down to formulate, you know, snack bar, snack bot, structure, and all this. So click on collective superintelligence, that topic. It takes you to its topic page, same icon. You know, that's your reference, your visual hook, short paragraph. This is the definition of it. And then related topics. And in this case, most of them will be ones that weren't on the homepage set of topics, right? I'll just call that the high level map, right? It helps if you're high when you look at it. So we call it the high level map. Click on collective superintelligence, takes you to that page. Boom, subtopics, right? Conversational domain, right? Solution engine. Click on solution engine. It takes you to its topic page. And then it has its subcomponents, taxonomies, and Wixonomy, brainstorming, GitHub of solutions, global holistic modeling, optimization, optimal solution set, and implementation plan. Voila, subtopic. So it's like that's just the portal. That's your entry portal. You know, door number 1, door number 2, and again, maybe there'll be 50 doors on the front entrance. Totally manageable. So sure, we need search. Oh, there's no question. We need search for myriad reasons, but navigation, I think we can also go very, very far with navigation, because see, when you're doing search, you're kind of blind and you're kind of asking this seeing guide well, where can we get something to eat? Oh, here, follow me. Okay. But I don't have a view of what the big, somebody turn on the lights and take off the damn blindfold already. What do you got? Right? I mean, let's face it. There's a hell of a lot of value to this. Looking at the whole scope of the world and all of our problems and the solutions that we most urgently need, right? This is kind of like, this is just very revealing of Jamin, right? My perspective, fine. But it's also revealing of kind of the state of humanity. It's almost like humanity speaking through me, or Mother Earth speaking through me. That's how I'd like to see it. And this is, I mean, it's like finally a full picture, a full story. Got it. Okay. Here's where we're at, here's how we got here. Here's what we need to do right now: put out the fire, get the kids out of the burning building, and to do that, okay, got it. CSI. It all makes sense, right? So that was a big missing, I believe, and it remains a big missing until we get it done. And even if it's super thin on content, right? Who cares? The idea is that it tells the big idea of CSI, because it finally puts CSI in its proper place, in its proper context. Yes, it opens up CSI. In fact, its opening salvo is 3 different topics related to CSI. And but drill down. Obviously, you're going to click on CSI first, right? That just draws you in. And then that's where you get to the subtopics of CSI, as well as introductory videos on CSI and so forth. So that's one of the big advantages of Snack Bar. Again, even if it's super thin on content, it shows where CSI fits and why CSI, right? And of course, it's the "you are here" part of the journey to CSI. It's part of the journey. It's yet another milestone along the way. Three years ago, we were just getting started, getting ready to get started with the social club at the end of the world. That's where we were 3 years ago. And our first Guy McPherson tours. Yeah, it was 3 years ago that I sponsored Professor Guy McPherson and Pauline, first in California and then in the state of Washington. And he actually joined me on the mission against the drug cartels. I was dressed in my Darth Vader suit. He was dressed as Professor Guy McPherson. And we each had a criminal drug cartel sign. I kid you not. We did that in Seattle, and we did that up at Friday Harbor on San Juan Island. We were the talk of the town, believe me. Anyway, more juicy stuff. So, wow. Anyway, and as we were talking about Snack Bar, it's like it started to come to life and it all made sense. It was just super cool. And just to be like co-creating it and working in Flipgrid and Wakelet and whatnot. And it's just so clear. The world urgently needs. I was calling it an Amazon.com of conversations. Natalie had, it was Stephanie earlier suggested that perhaps a better metaphor would be Spotify, right? Because, you generally, anyway, Spotify is a good one. I was also playing around with the metaphor match.com of, conversations and people, but that, I think Spotify is way better than that. Match.com makes it sound like there's only one conversation you want to find. But what's interesting is, if you consider the most advanced form of CSI you can imagine, right? It's going to help you find the conversation you need to be in right now. And there's only one, right? And that may only take 5 minutes to get whatever worked out. And then you can be off to the next one, right? So Match.com is not that bad if you consider the paradigm of serial monogamy. I'm monogamous with this conversation, and then I jump to this other conversation. I'm monogamous with it, and et cetera. But I also like Spotify because sometimes you're listening to one song at a time, but there's a whole bunch of songs you like to listen to over the course of the day, and maybe different kinds of songs in the morning versus the evening, versus when you're out jogging, et cetera. Right? So anyway, analogies abound, but the bottom line is, we need to organize the world's conversations, the world's actual conversations about things that matter, like saving life on Earth. Talkify. Natalie says instead of Spotify, we could call it Talkify. Talkify. I want to start a taco truck called Talkify. We're going to Talkify you. You. People will be walking by. You ready to get Talkified? Right? Talkify you up.
I think that's the best idea I've ever heard you say. That's brilliant. Taco.
Talkify.
I've never heard Cesare so positive.
No, that means that's it. We got to start the taco truck, and what better time than in the middle of a coronavirus outbreak? Come on down.
Wait. You know what? I gotta top that. The Taco-nator.
Oh, brilliant! The taco Nader. And we'll have a picture of Ralph Nader on the as our logo.
No, man, it's supposed to be a Terminator reference.
Ah, the taco Nader. Gotcha.
Oh.
But anyway, organizing the world's conversations. Now, what's interesting is, if somebody had said organize the world's conversations 6 months ago, I would have said that's ridiculous. Only a tiny fraction of the world's conversations are on Zoom. And now all the world's conversations are on Zoom. Right?
actually, from what I've been hearing, because I've been communicating a lot with
Goodness, there's your idea come to life, Cesare.
Extinction Rebellion. I've been talking to Extinction Rebellion people quite a bit lately, and so everyone keeps, it's funny because I hear Extinction Rebellion, they keep organizing their events, but anytime I promote one of my events on Zoom, they talk shit about it. Oh, you should be using this app, you should be using this app. But I don't see these people talk about that. So apparently there's this thing called Big Blue Button. It was just a web conferencing system, and then somebody was saying that no, because they organize through Mattermost, which is kind of like a chat platform. I don't know if you've heard of that. Kind of like Discord, or it's like a chatting platform, and with all these breakout groups and discussions. So I hear that Mattermost is launching their own version of video conferencing. So this is spreading.
So, dude, here's what it feels like to me. I feel like we're a bunch of 20-year-olds in a garage in the Silicon Valley in 1975. That's what it feels like to me. We're just at the dawn of the computer revolution, the modern computer revolution. And we're like, here I am with my goggles and soldering gun, and you guys are coding something over there, and Natalie just showed up with the Taconator, and we're just freaking making this happen, right?
I totally missed what Cesare just said.
Oh, go ahead, Cesare. Try again.
I was just saying that there are other applications, other platforms. Somebody was telling me about Big Blue Button web conferencing, and I guess Mattermost is also launching its own video conferencing features. So they're testing that. So it's not just Zoom. It's going to be interesting to see which one of these prevails, if any, but it's probably going to be all of these for different things. But yeah, so it's not just Zoom.
Mattermost, that sound, like it sounds, are those conversations that matter the most?
Yeah, I guess it's for people. It's a chatting, it's like a chat room platform.
I can play a little 1-minute intro video that's on their website.
Go for it, Nolan.
New tools built for startups provide remarkable speed and agility. But these tools lack the security and privacy that enterprises need. Once your data leaves your network, it's out of your control. This is a huge problem when your information flows through third systems. All your secrets are at risk of being exposed. Enterprises can protect themselves with private networks, but then they lose those cutting-edge tools. You can try using general-purpose products bundled with your enterprise suite, but they're not built for developers, and people get frustrated. Mattermost was built for enterprises like yours. It offers the features of collaboration products on an open-source, enterprise-grade platform with unlimited customization through plugins, APIs, and the full product source code, and the kind of lockdown security and privacy you can't get with SaaS services. Are you ready to bring the speed of startups to your enterprise? Learn more at Mattermost.com.
Looks like a bunch of text to me.
Yeah, and it looks very enterprise. I was like, what? Is there some platform about what matters the most? See, because I'm looking at
Well, we'll see.
Pardon me?
Cesare is saying that they're working on a video conferencing aspect. So
Sure.
We'll see.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound like a social network about what matters the most. And I was just chuckling to myself because it's like I'm seeing the world through snack bar goggles, so everything looks like, is that like snack bar? Is that like snack bar? And
Mattermost is used by Extinction Rebellion. They do have thousands of people.
right. But the point is, they're using their tools, but not as a, but it's not a social network itself. They're just, just like I'm sure they use Gmail also at Extinction Rebellion.
No, they actually use Proton Mail, but like that's what they.
Good one. um, hmm. But anyway, back to it.
Hey, Jamin, before we do,
Yeah.
Can you try starting up the stream again?
Happy to. Custom, right?
Yeah.
Got the white screen, preparing to live stream, setting up the meeting. Done. It says done.
All right, we're live.
Okay. Thanks, Nolan. Speaking of social networks, we're live on Twitch.
Oh, I have to share something real quick.
Yeah, what you got?
So this is a cool feature of Twitch that I was not aware of because I barely use Twitch. Well, not really at all, actually, before now. But apparently anyone, I think you have to be signed in, but anyone signed in can, while they're watching, they can hit a button that says, I think it says like clip, and then they're taken to another tab where they can pick out a segment out of the last 60 seconds, and then they can just like trim it to that segment, and then they can put a title and a description on that. And then that's added to a collection. So anybody that's watching our stream, which by the way, for every stream, it's the same link, it's the same place, it's always streaming in the same place, which I think is pretty cool. And so if anybody goes to our Twitch channel, then they can click on clips, and then that'll show all of the bits that have been taken out of previous events.
Oh my goodness, it's open source video snippet editing. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I don't think it's super I don't know how it's kind of a jerry-rigged solution for sure. Short term, I don't think it's necessarily easy to grab all of those and like use them outside of the Twitch context, but still it could be a thing to
even
more
if
than we had before in terms of features. So
exactly, that's all I'm saying. Okay, it's open source, but it's within the walled garden of Twitch. I don't care where it is, right? It exists. That's the important thing.
Yeah, so I actually think Twitch might be better than YouTube. I think we're gonna have less problems with I don't think they're gonna take us down as easily as YouTube has.
Yeah, they seem way cooler, way way more interactive.
And you know how we could get automatically taken down for sharing like YouTube content on a YouTube stream because it's a part of the YouTube database. I don't think you have the same issues with Twitch. It's just if you're a really popular Twitch streamer and then you're playing somebody else's content and they find out about that, then they can report you and you can get in trouble. But if you don't have a big audience, you can pretty much stream whatever you want. And as long as somebody doesn't report you for it being like porn or you're hurting yourself or someone else, then so I think it's I think getting booted off YouTube 3 times was actually a blessing in disguise.
Totally. It's like I'm dating the wrong girl. She treats me like shit. She treats me like shit again. And third time's the charm. It's like, yeah, I'm all sad. I'm drinking beer and feeling like shit and crying. But you know what? I'll sleep it off, get over it. It was a good thing that it happened that way. So screw you, tube. No, and I just love that there's a proliferation of these different media, right? So necessary. And very happy to hear that there's all these new video conferencing, apps coming out and all that. Just, it's just freaking awesome. And yeah, we're in the Cambrian explosion of collective superintelligence. It just went into hyperdrive, driven by the Dos Equis thing. And by the way, Cesare, Dos Equis is our new code word for the C word. Another popular Mexican beer.
Have you heard a little story about a man named Jed? The poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. Well, then one day, while he's shooting up some food, up from the ground came a bubbling crude.
Crude.
Oil, that is.
Good.
Black gold. Texas tea. The cause of all our fucking problems.
But the answer to all their prayers, the Beverly Hillbillies. Awesome. Even the kitty
Morning,
singing.
boys.
Huh?
I'm one of y'all. Sin, for fuck's sake, I'm one of
The cat got pissed off when you started singing in American, so you had to speak some Gaelic to her to calm her down. Oh my goodness, great to see you, James. Hey, did you? Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was about to ask if you were in the waiting room, but then I realized that you had never left. You had never left the conversation.
Oh yeah, I've been here all the time. I've been listening for the last hour or so, but I've been just pottering around the place there for a while and getting myself sorted. So I've been listening in since I woke up about an hour ago.
Awesome. Well, I'm all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed because I took a 3-hour nap earlier. 3 hours. Yeah. And Nolan and Emery covered for me and made very good use of the time. Lauren was on for quite a bit of it. And Nolan and Lauren had good conversation. So I've recapped, James, recapped a lot of what we talked about, and now we're just, Cesare's brought to our awareness some new platforms and for video conferencing and whatnot. There's just, the explosion in tools is just insane. Because now software development has become just Lego blocks, and it's a Cambrian explosion of software development generally, because of all the great Lego block sets that are out there for free. And then we're in the midst of our own Cambrian explosion in collective intelligence. But
yeah, it's all coming together all right. Like,
yeah, but the thing is, the Cambrian, collective intelligence has been evolving for millions of years, right? It was evolving very slowly. And then it really started to accelerate during the internet age. But now, with Dos Equis, boom! In the freaking blink of an eye, everybody's on Zoom video conferences. A critical mass of those are forming around how do we save life on Earth. A subset of those are on collective intelligence itself. And it's just, I mean, really. And the thing was going to accelerate anyway without Dos Equis. But now with a bunch of Dos Equis poured on top, it's the Taconator.
That was a good one, all right, out of Natalie, the Taconator.
Guys, check this out. I was just watching some hillbilly use a piece of wood as a cylinder head. Like he actually made a cylinder head for a lawnmower out of a piece of wood. He was running it. Like the stupid shit that people do. It's amazing.
Here's the thing, I had to do shit like that back at the old family farm in southeastern Ohio, which is in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. So I'm literally hillbilly stock. And when you're way out in the sticks and, you're far from anywhere, you got to improvise. I remember once trying to improvise to patch a muffler. And I almost set the truck on fire, but anyway. We hillbillies do crazy stuff like that. Oh, man. Here it is, 3:30 in the morning on a Saturday morning. And these are some of the funnest times in the block party because everyone's deliriously tired or just waking up or whatever. And because we're on all these different time zones, we're in all these different spaces, right? So it's kind of like, it's almost like we all took shrooms together or something like that. And we're just like, right? Natalie's got a good sense of humor. Wow. Among other things, the Collective Intelligence Block Party is going to be like this fun support group for people just coping with the massive acceleration in collective intelligence that we're still in the early stages of. Natalie writes, I feel a bit like that for an hour or so after I get up. I love this. Awesome. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you. Yeah. And with collective superintelligence generally, see, Natalie hit on a key point. We feel differently at different times of the day. Duh. Wow, Sherlock, what else have you discovered lately? But my point is this, that because, like, oh, I'm a morning person. Oh, I'm a late night person. Oh, I do my creative thinking, between this time and this time. Whatever your dealio, right? When you're entering the collective superintelligence, that can either be specified by you, it can be assumed based on your schedule, including your sleep schedule, because your bot, you know, let your bot follow you around even when you go to sleep and stuff like that. Talk to your bot when you first wake up in the morning. Tell your bot how you're feeling. And then your bot can direct you based on your current energy level and everything else about you that's not so fluctuating, like your, like, you know, whatever you studied in college, you know, all that's with you. And then all of that is input into the question, what conversation should Jamin be in right now? Right? Maybe I need a rise and shine, optimistic conversation to get my day going. Then maybe I need to do some volunteer working with another team, assembling some solution or something like that, where I have the right expertise to do my part, and everyone else is so grateful that I showed up, and now I feel great about myself. Right? You get what I'm saying, right? Different conversations for different times of the day. Doesn't that sound cool? Yes. Oh my goodness. Where the world is your oyster. The world is your oyster bed of conversations. The world is your oyster bed of conversational pearls. The world is your conversational oyster bed of conversational pearls. What? You know, the more we talk about this is like, you know, we're painting a picture of it, and that picture is becoming clearer and clearer and clearer.
Really good. Yeah, it's like getting up in the morning and just talking to your bot, as you said, like, and it just gives you your daily boost, that motivation for you to get on with what it is you're planning for the day, like, or, you know, get you enthusiastic, like, so it's automatically like a cheerleading crowd behind you in the morning, like when you get up, like, puts in that good humor and enthusiastic frame of mind.
Totally. Exactly. It's kind of like your Yelp of conversations. You know how Yelp helps you find the right business when you're hungry, and then you punctured your tire, so you got to, you know, it's just like, well, just an analogy. But yeah, heck yeah. And if you ever get stuck, guess what? If you ever get stuck and you say, hey, I could use some help here, like within seconds, you'll have a couple humans there, you know, who are optimized for helping you out of whatever you're stuck with, whether it's a math problem, a dating problem, you know, an anger management problem, whatever it is, right?
Or just simple stress relief, like a yoga class or a gardening class, anything.
Exactly. Anger management. I've got these things I'm angry about, like really angry about. And like at different times, they'll just be gnawing away at me. I'll be trying to do something else and I'll just be getting really angry. I could really use the help of an anger management, you know, psych expert who probably in 5 minutes could give me a tool, literally. Just like I could help her with her civil engineering problem on her farm, right? And that's easy for me. You know, my dad used to help people out all the time with architectural stuff. He was just an architectural genius, even though he was professionally a mechanical engineer. He'd go to somebody's house and just sketch up, here's what you need to do. Boom. You could just see it, right? Each of us has the ability to see. Each of us has our unique perspective. And the botosphere, right? The snack bots. Snack sounds like something you want to eat. A snack bot, edible bots. Yeah, good stuff. I'm just reading some private feedback about my anger management stuff. But you see, just talking about it with you all helps me uncover that it's something that's holding me back, and I don't have to keep it inside, right? See, I just let it out in a way. So this is therapy. And you see how, more generally, we're just learning to have each other's backs. Each of us is finding our micro tribe, right? As we were scanning through stuff on Eventbrite, there's like we found an event where it's just like this laughter club, and they just get on and they all laugh. Probably thousands of people on that. I don't know. But we found some ones that were going to crash and say, hey, you know, we put a link to your meeting up on Snack Bar. What? Oh yeah, Snack Bar. Here, check it out. Boom, boom, screen share. Here it is. There you are. You guys cool with that? Yeah. What? There are other conversations happening online about world hunger? Yeah, you didn't know? Yeah. Well, here, go to Snack Bar. Click on hunger. It's all there. Organizing the world's conversations. And then one day when Jed was hunting for some conversations, up from the ground came some bubbling transformational conversations. This is the new black gold. This is the new Bitcoin. It's conversational gold, because these conversations propel us forward, right? Look, back up until very, very recently, if you wanted to be successful in the world, you kind of had to be connected, right? Or have a personality that helped you get connected, right? But if you didn't have a facility of getting connected, you were kind of stuck, right? And it was, and the wealthy, they kind of all scratch each other's backs in a way, in this kind of weird collective way. And also because they've got a lot of spare time, they have time to make phone calls and receive phone calls and connect and all that. And so a lot of the connection juice, and therefore the ability to make stuff happen in the world, was very concentrated, you know, for most of the last 10,000 years since the agricultural revolution, because there's so much power in connection and connectivity. Now all of us have, or not all of us, but most of us now have this new leisure time, right? So like the wealthy, we've got time to connect. And through collective superintelligence, the vast majority of humanity is going to actually surpass the wealthy, because the wealthy, they're still making phone calls to each other and networking in kind of the old paradigm, because that's what they're used to and it works well for them. And, you know, and they're also kind of running scared right now because they're afraid of the pitchforks. But what's interesting is now the bulk of humanity, whoever's connected to the internet and has the leisure time and the ability to do these Zoom video conferencing, is going to now become collectively way more super intelligent than the old power networks, right, that I was describing. So it's this overturning of power. In fact, the sociopaths are going to be left behind, because the real juice is in these public conversations. We're streaming live on Twitch. Hello world. You know, we're recording. We're going to publish on YouTube. It's just like totally open. We're just open sourcing our minds in a way, and in a very real way, but in a way where each of us individually receives way more than we give, right? Which, as Cesare would be happy to tell you, is exactly how market-based economies work. Everyone gets, you know, the wealth of nations. That's the whole idea. Everyone contributes what they can most efficiently contribute, and they get compensated for it. I mean, in the ideal marketplace model. Well, here, we do that, but essentially without money. Here's Adam Soul's world without money. the irony is, once after he stormed out for the last time, it now exists. It's right here, but it's in the castle that he stormed out of. Because, you know, we're all exchanging and trading and gifting and co-creating, right? Without money. Natalie says, I'd love to see the platform in the virtual world be a bit like the small boxes. Sorry, the small boxes file. You want to help me out, Nolan? You can probably read that easier than I can.
Natalie says, I'd love to see the platform in the virtual world be a bit like the small boxes / file we have here and zoom into it. It's the platform. But like each new box you go through, like a matrix, it keeps the boxes in order to left of the screen, but mini size. So when you come out, it in a way guides your pathway back through the search you made.
Yeah. Let's just call that a crumb trail, just to keep it simple. Like you're going into the forest at night with a flashlight. You don't want to get lost. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, crumb trail. That's it. And see, just like we're talking here, voila. You know, you start with a map. And see, this is why this is just so cool to be able to navigate this way, because this way we make it tactile, right? We make it artistic. It's not text-based. And Melissa and Alice, and in particular, have been telling me this for quite a while, and it's taken a while for it to penetrate my Taurian reptilian brain, but it finally has. You know, everyone got so enthralled in search in the last 25 years. It's time for the pendulum to swing back to navigation, this portal thing. Click, 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 click. Because then it's one seamless experience. You keep navigating through. It's like playing 20 questions. You keep navigating and clicking and bifurcating and choosing from multiple choices and conversing with your bot until voila, boom, you're right here. Do you see how the two are the same? It's all Hollywood squares, and that makes it the ultimate navigatable interface. It's back to the one-click mouse. No more keyboards. Click, click, click. Upcycle your keyboard. You don't need it no more. Yeah, that's right. Here, 20 questions. Raise your hand if you've played 20 questions. We can play it right now. All right, everyone's played 20 questions. You see how remarkably efficient it is, right? To find out what you're thinking. Just with quick, and those are bifurcated, yes, no, right? You just keep chopping the universe in half, and after, 20 slices, you know exactly what it is. After 20 slices, you go from universe to atom. Click, click, click. In our case, it'll mostly be like, it'll be less than that. It'll be boom, 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 boom. And then see, people then will get familiar with the map of the world, just like you get familiar with the map of your city. And then you finally just kind of, have essentially photographic memory of it because you've seen it so many times. And before you can have a new story for humanity, you need a new map of the topography. Because otherwise, no one knows what the heck you're talking about. There's no context for anything. I'm kind of being extreme. I'm just blabbering. But it's almost 4 a.m.
I think the point Natalie was referring to or hinting at there as well, apart from the point you got, was the site being when it's in the material world. Like when you go on the site, it's kind of you have all, we say you have all your menu there now, as you said, Jim, in those picture forms, and you speak your question or whatever it is and everything else. But we say, like we were discussing there last night, you have your snack bot then is with like your little bot inside that's going to go off and search then for the related conversation. But if it was kind of animated in the sense like the snack bot was like a little bee itself, and it flew off into this little field of flowers and pulls up, you zoom in on the one flower, which is the conversation for you then straight away. So it's kind of an entertaining animation like as well. So because we should stick with the bee because he's the busy bee and in the conversational flower domain. Like, so have him fly straight into that flower and into that conversation for you. Like. So it just makes it entertaining as well. And I think that's what Natalie was on about. When you think of Lawnmower Man, Noah, when he went into all these different, in the animation of it, like where he went into all the different, I suppose, hold-ons of information and everything else, and it was all animated. That's what drew you into that. Kind of got you excited about the Lawnmower Man film. That I think you remember the film if you're but you know what I'm saying, animation and it's attraction and it's entertaining as well as getting you the information.
Well, I kind of like the Taconator. The Taconator could be our snack bot, right? Because the taco is a snack. The hot sauce squeeze bottle is its weapon. And I'm just kidding. I think snack bot's good.
Okay, I want to share with you how cool Twitch is.
Awesome.
Okay, so this is us. So this is us. So this is us. Oh no. So this is us. Oh no. So this is us. And then we can go over here. Oh geez. Okay. Yes. Oh no. So this is clips. I already cut out a few clips. There's one that's still like waiting to show up here. But like, boom, I can just click on this.
Collective intelligence has been evolving for millions of years, right? It was evolving very slowly, and then it really started to accelerate during the internet age.
Before we even,
but now
stopped recording,
with Dos Equis,
like
boom!
I made this clip
in the freaking blink of an eye. Everybody's on Zoom video conferences. The critical mass of those are forming around how do we save life on Earth. A subset of those are on collective intelligence itself, and it's just, I mean, really. And the thing was going to accelerate anyway without Dos Equis. But now with a bunch of Dos Equis poured on top, it's the Taconator.
That was a good one, all right, other than that, the Taconator.
It's just so easy. It's so easy to make that. Literally, all I have to do is I have Zoom open here. I have Twitch open on another desktop. If I really like something, I just swipe over, I click one button, it takes me to a page, and then I can immediately just crop out what I want and put a title on it.
Wow. Now, are those videos exportable outside of Twitch?
I don't know. I gotta figure that out.
That's the point. You know.
But either way, it'll still be a nice thing to reference people to. And then if they want to just watch like little snippets and there's like, okay, that sounds interesting. You know, oh, this is only 20 seconds, but it's Jamin just having a brilliant like brain dump, you know. And then it's if that, you know, that's what sucks people in these days are little less. And we get a lot of those. They just get lost so easily in these streams.
Well, listen to this, you guys. Holy shit. you know, what you're talking about, these are intellectual snacks for 20 seconds of brilliance. Let me snack on that. Boop, pop, 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 pop. It's just part of the singularity. I know, you know, 80-year-olds, you know, bemoan it, that, you know, 10-year-olds have no more attention span. It's just that they're taking in, and now we're going to figure out the optimal snack stream. Your bot is going to just like, and next thing you're going to, you know, you're going to just bulk up on brilliance and insight that's custom tailored for you and your personality and your mission in life and your purpose. And if you don't know your purpose, we'll help you figure that out too.
Yeah, I'm clipping that.
So cool. All right, Cesare, how you doing?
Yo, I think I'm gonna head out. I got work to do. Just wanted to wish you guys a good day. Good morning. And
Awesome. Well, you know, this is work, and you came up with the Taconator. You came up with the word, the Taconator, and then Natalie did some searching. This is collective intelligence, and now we're spraying that stuff all over the place.
no, I got to do some promotions for my meeting tomorrow. So
Awesome. Awesome. Well, rock on.
I got to get on that.
You go for it. Go for it.
A lot of staring at the computer screen.
Talk to you again
All right,
soon,
guys.
Cesar.
Great to
Take care, Cesar.
See you
Talk to you soon.
later.
All right. See you later, Taconator. See you later, Taconator.
What'd you say, Jay?
I said, see you later, Taconator. See, because we used to say as a kid,
Says, what you call him?
alligator, but now we say, see you later, Taconator.
Yeah. Hasta la vista.
Hasta la vista, Taconator, baby.
Uh, all right, cool. All right. See you guys.
Okay, muchos de los
See ya.
ganas tiene de. Yep. Oh my goodness. No, you know what? I think Twitch may well be the place for this thing to take off. It's just twitching. It's just twitching.
And here's the thing, Twitch has a lot of gamers, and that's kind of what lifted it off.
Yeah.
But it's opening it up. Like one of the first things I saw when I checked it out, when I was exploring alternatives for streaming platforms, one of the first streams I saw is just a dude on an island. He's like, yeah, I'm on an island, like day 5. I'm just on an island by himself, and he's just recorded himself going around. There's like 1 million people just watching him and sending him chats and like money and stuff, because they want to watch somebody do something interesting, you know. So it's like YouTube definitely does not have that culture around it.
No. Google, which owns YouTube, is becoming this lumbering giant, just like Microsoft became. It becomes a victim of its own success, and then it has it just doesn't want to. I can't move because we might put at risk the next quarter's revenue stream, and if we change this, then it would impact that business model, and you know, it's just like, oh my goodness, and you just end up not doing jack shit. Microsoft Word looks exactly the same as it did 20 years ago. There's no innovation anymore. Right. 20
Yeah.
years later.
YouTube is just becoming
Pardon me?
YouTube is becoming everything it proclaimed it wasn't in the beginning.
Yeah, it's I mean, shutting down free speech. Nice going, YouTube. My goodness. Yeah, I got a new girlfriend. Her name's Twitch. Check her out, guys.
And the hypocrisy of cutting off the live stream because of that certain word being mentioned that we won't mention now again, but because of that, like that just proves the influence that the powers that be have over YouTube now as well, because and the hypocrisy of YouTube as well, because there's numerous videos out there. Then I know that it's because we're live and it could be blotted out of us without them. They're now starting to bleep out the word on a lot of the recorded videos. But at the same time, it's just showing you the influence that, regardless of the crisis situation, it is, our freedom of speech being taken away. We're not talking about it in a negative way at all. We're actually on about trying to be fucking productive and trying to come up with solutions towards it.
I mean, here's the thing. They're suppressing alternate narratives is what they're doing. And it's, yeah, they're suppressing alternate narratives. And that's extremely dangerous. So let this be the beginning of a mass migration to Twitch.
Yeah, whatever goes, whatever works, that's the way that'll be the way for us at the end of the day, like, because
And
don't
listen,
work for us, just leave it aside.
and you know what? Let's build our CSI inside of Twitch land. Why the hell not? If they've got the juice, if they've got the ability to slice and dice and move their mice and all this stuff, and I mean, if somebody sends you a Twitch URL, I presume you don't need to log in to see it, right? It's all open. So let's just frickin' Twitch it out, right? Let's just put little Twitch. You know what? Let's put Twitch snacks all over the bleep on the snack bar menu. It's snack bar. It's not full course bar, right? It's snack bar. So let's give them snacks. Let's give them freaking fun size, snuggets. And you know what? Listen, remember a couple hours ago when I went rapid fire through each and every one of these topics? Imagine I slowed it down a couple notches and I did 20 seconds on each one. I almost did that. I practically did that. I already did it. It's done. We just have to go back through there and twitch it out.
Yeah, so you have your little mini snack bar of
Hey, Nolan, you got a little twitch going on there. You little twitch. Sorry, James. Go ahead.
conversations. No, I was saying, as Nolan was saying, like they're quick little videos, and that's what gets their attention. And as you said, call them little mini snacks of conversation, like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, here's the thing. We have this thing. I don't know if you have it in Ireland, but like the little candy bars, the little tiny ones, they say fun size, right? In the United States,
fantastic.
They say fun size. They're just these tiny little things, and they're the kind they pass.
Yeah.
Do you have those in Ireland?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
And they literally say fun size.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, you got fun size. It would say fun size pack on the outside of the pack, and then there's just lots of little mini versions of the larger bar, then like of whatever flavor
right.
bar or chocolate it is. Like.
It's probably made in the United States, right? Just imported.
I would say just same idea used by a lot of brands all over the world, really.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. 20 seconds, bam. And so in that one, 10-minute brain dump, 10 minutes is 30 20-second chunks. That's it. There's our snack bar. It's built out. It's twitched out. I tweaked out my Honda. I twitched out my website. Yeah, we twitched it out in 10 minutes. No, that's so dang cool. And then people can just start following us on freaking Twitch. Follow us on Twitch. We're the Snack Bar team.
Yeah, you're just looking at, just looking at it there on the 20 minutes, and you're saying just 30 conversations. It's, millions or thousands of conversations already if you break up all the 8 block parties we've had. You know what I mean? It's just a world of information, already to look into and have little snippets of conversation. It's a fantastic idea. I'm going to grab a cup of tea.
Go for it. And you're still listening, right, James?
Yeah, I am, of course. Yeah, I just plugs up my earphones.
Okay, great. Awesome, thanks.
Now, they also make it very easy to, once you made that clip, you can download it, you can share it on Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, copy it to your clipboard, link to it somewhere else, embed it in a website. So, like, as we're rolling, right, we could take a snippet that's just enough for like an advertisement on Twitter, right? We capture that and we say, yeah, we're talking with Michael Gaio right now. You should join us.
Yeah, real-time advertisements. Real-time. Oh my God. That's it. Between Twitch and Twitter.
Because who's not going to watch like 20 seconds, It
takes more time to decide not to watch it and rationalize that decision than to just fucking watch the 20-second clip.
Yeah.
And then you have the benefit of that knowledge rather than the benefit of more of your screwed up mental gymnastics.
Yeah.
They're irresistible they're free snacks. It's like when you go into Yogurtland, you want a free sample, you're hooked on the crack. You're stuck. We become intellectual crack dealers. Man, I'm just having a whole new experience of the late night after having slept for 3 hours. Makes all the difference. My goodness, look at how fast this is evolving. See, this is evolution. And 15 years ago, I went to a talk given by Dr. Ray Kurzweil right after he launched his book, The Singularity is Near. And he showed us with really compelling evidence, as is in the book, about the remarkable consistency of the exponential. And I had a conversation with him about it afterwards. And it's like, it's just so predictable, the exponential. I mean, you couldn't have predicted that, oh yeah, there's this, upgrade on YouTube, better than YouTube, it's called Twitch. No one could predict the specific details, but the evolution is predictable. The overall, the exponential curve. We are so deep into the exponential now, Hold on tight, guys and gals. Hold on tight. My goodness. Hey, James, don't you miss the 1980s when, like, you'd go to bed at night and the next morning you knew the world would be exactly the same? Don't you kind of miss those days? For you young people, it's just like you grew up in a world where everything was changing so much more quickly. For us, it's really kind of, whoa. Yeah. Okay, Natalie is asking, how old do you let's, oh, sorry. How long will it take for us to, it just feels like we've got like weeks to go before this thing is like seriously popping. And what do I mean by popping, right? Imagine that we had even 1 in a million human beings, 1 in a million. Operation 1 in a million. What if we had 1 in a million human beings? One in a million human beings actively popping and, doing the snack bar thing and gobbling up 20-second snacks here and there and busting out their own 40-second video response to a 20 seconds of brilliance, right? And so on and so forth. And we keep popping off each other. I mean, it's a social network, right? You can friend people and stuff, I presume. I don't know. I'm just asking. 1 in a million, that's 8,000 people. 8,000 people. Before the agricultural revolution, 1 in a million was exactly 10 people. You can count them on 2 hands. Before the agricultural revolution. Let's say people who are just like super dialed in and super creative and just 8 sigma beyond the the median, whatever, right? Whoa. Now there's 8,000 of us. We're 8,000 strong and we're finding each other. See, once the slippery slope starts and like a few hundred of us are like together and twitching it out, and we're going to suck in the rest of the 8,000. Let's call it the 1 in a million club. We've got 8,000 seats. Does one of them have your name on it? Are you 1 in a million?
And the block party is the flower where those seeds were produced.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. Yeah, look, by the time there's 8,000 of us, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be insane. It's going to be so popping. The 8,000 1 in a millionaires.
Can you hear me there now, Jim?
Yeah, totally.
Why the fuck am I wearing these earphones all the time then?
Oh yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Stephanie told me Stephanie told me I had to wear these earphones so that I could speak in the microphone, and I didn't have to fucking have them in any at all. I just
What?
realized I wasn't wearing them there when I asked you questions, and you can hear me, and I don't even have them on or plugged in. So
Well, like,
I had no reason to be attached to the phone at all.
well, I hate to burst your bubble, but there's one thing about the earphones is that you don't hear the echo. See, right now you're hearing, we're hearing my echo because it's coming from your thing. So put on those fucking earphones. I'm just kidding.
I get you. Got you there now. So there was a reason she said you must wear the earphones. Again, that's just a typical example of me not being tech savvy, no, Jim, and you know what I mean. But still can be a participant here, like you know what I mean.
No, listen. So it seems like it's just every couple days someone's asking me to join some new platform, and I've just like gotten to the point where I'm like Humphrey Bogart at the end of that one movie where he's holding two guns like this and just like, ready to shoot whoever. I'm just like, get away from me. It's like Invasion of the Killer Apps, and I want to be the fucking taco-nator, just go, just get away from me, all you freaking apps, right? And it's just too much. You know what I mean? It's like, this old dog.
Yeah, your appetite is full.
My appetite is full. Exactly. And so that's why it's interesting. I'm willing to talk about different apps. I'm just not willing to put them up on the screen. Right. Oh, what is Twitch? Does it do this? Hey, tell me about Wavelet. Does it do? I'm willing to talk about it. I just don't want to go there. I'm all apped out. I'm capped out, man. I'm apped out. And, but I think here's what I'm doing. I'm like talking with 100 women before I even kiss one of them. That's what I'm doing. Because for me to like get into an app and like log in, screw that. That for me is like kissing the app. I don't want to kiss nobody. I'll talk about you. I'll talk with you, but I won't kiss you. And then once I found the app that I really want, okay, now the gloves come off and a bit more than that, right? But it's got to be the right one. Twitch is the right one. Wavelet, I'm willing to do footsie with. and Flipgrid. But you know what? With Twitch, maybe we don't need that stuff anymore. Single-use platform. No, that's not the right metaphor. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. One, duh. No, all right. Okay, quit laughing. Quit laughing. Stop. Just kidding. No, one platform for all our needs. That's what I was kind of getting at. So we'll have the snack bar interface, and you drill down, Natalie style, right down to the Twitch. Scratch that Twitch, but you got to drill down to find the Twitch, and then you can scratch it. Scratch it. Oh. Yeah, it sounds like with Twitch and Snack Bar, we can make the jump to Lightspeed pretty fast. Yeah. They were kind of made for each other. Twitch is like this factory of fun-sized snacks, and Snack Bar is a place to organize them. Voila. Organizing the world's snack versations.
I'm listening away there, no, lads. I'm just tending to the cat's litter box and things like that.
No, that's awesome. I love cats so much. Oh my goodness. Good for you, man. Oh my goodness. Okay, very good. Natalie's going to be in the garden. Awesome. Happy gardening, Natalie. And but I presume you're still listening in. All right, very good. Natalie can hear us just fine. Good, good, good. Oh my goodness. Well, this has been the easiest block party for me, because the others I've had to fight through my exhaustion and kind of break through to the other side. And then, by Saturday morning, I'm so like weirded out by the whole thing. I'm just like, I need to take more bong hits and drink more beer, watch some Netflix. I just kind of need to come down from it. But this is just so much more gentle. Awesome. Oh my goodness. I mean, I'm over 50. I shouldn't be staying up all night long. That 3-hour nap was it was a sleep. It wasn't a nap, it was a sleep. Doesn't that just make all the difference, James? Oh, that's right. James is tending to his stuff. Don't worry about it, James. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You know, here's what it feels like what we're doing. Between the 24-hour block party, the 8-hour solution club, and all the stuff we're doing in between, I'm reminded of when a colleague once commended me for doing a really thorough job on this research project. He said, Jamin, you just grabbed that tiger by the balls and you just shook it. That's what we're doing. We're just, you know, and we're not letting go until the thing just goes uncle. You know, apologize to the vegans for the reference. It's metaphorical. No tigers were hurt in the making of this Twitch. So, anyway, that's what we're doing here. We're just shaking the shit out of it until we get it to frickin' settle down. All right. We have put order to the universe of conversations. Let's call it the converse, the conversational universe. Converse. Converse. We're ordering up the converse. Hey, what are you doing at the snack bar? Huh? Ordering up the converse. We're ordering up a anyway. Make that a couple tacos. With Taconator salsa.
That sounds really good right now.
Doesn't it? Oh my goodness. Poor Nolan. Just when you thought it was safe to go to sleep, Natalie messes it up for you with the Taconator.
I'm about to have nightmares about the Taconator. I had a dream the other night that I got arrested for throwing I had a device in my hand, and at some point in the dream I determined that it might explode as it started beeping. So I threw it away from myself
into a crowd of children, right?
Well, there were other people that they weren't distinctly children, but I threw it, and then after I threw it, I was like, I just started yelling at people that it was a bomb, and it did not explode, but I got arrested.
Good.
And they put me in boots that like lock at the ankles.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
Kind of humiliated me in public. It was really a pleasant dream.
No, that pretty much sums up your life right now. You're dropping the bomb of collective superintelligence on the world, and we're taking off exponentially into space, and you're wanting to be strapped down back on Earth, or at least the police are trying to strap you down back on Earth. I wouldn't want to be inside your head right now. Would you, James? James would rather be scooping cat litter than being inside your head right now. Just kidding. Just twitching with you. Just twitching with you. I'm just kidding, man. I don't want to twitch with you, man.
I missed your joke. You started.
It's just as well. It was just some mental blabber. I was just twitching with you. I was just, yeah, okay. All right.
I want to try something. So, unless you're vehemently opposed,
What you want to try, man?
I'd like to attempt. I would like to attempt opening up break rooms.
I was afraid you were going to say that. Go for it.
Well, I can't actually do it. It's only the host.
I'm going to make you co-host.
I think I'm co-host.
Oh, yeah, you are, because my only option is to make you host. Do you want to be host? Here, I'll make you. Then just hand it back to me when you're done. I wonder what that'll do to my recording. Let me try it. Make host. Change host.
Okay.
Oh,
We're still live streaming and we're still recording.
Good. Well, that's good.
Okay. So what I want to do is, let's see. Okay, I just opened some breakout rooms. What I'm curious about for anyone who's here is I only invite Gene to a specific breakout room. I'm curious if everyone else gets an invitation. And
Invitation.
you got one?
Yeah, it's a. Here, I'll do. You want me to do a screen capture? It's pretty simple. Here, let me do a screen capture, just so you can see what it is. And I'm going to email that to you. And copy Jamie. Got it. Natalie. Actually, Natalie, I don't think I've got your email address, but James, maybe you can reply all. Well, anytime. And
Yeah, I'm here anyway. I'm here. Yeah.
all right. So I just emailed it to
Can you hear me, Jim? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Am I on mute or something? No, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, you see that, Nolan?
I'm about to. Okay. Okay. Now I wonder if I give you host back, if the rooms stay open.
Okay. Do you want me to put later or join breakout room, or what do you want me to do?
Make you host.
Pardon me?
Hit later.
Later, dude. Okay. Oh, and then it says you can join breakout rooms from here. So if I click on breakout rooms, the same option is available. That's good to know. And now you've made me host.
I'm about to, and let's see if the breakout rooms stay open. So make host. Okay, you're the host now. It looks like the breakout rooms have closed.
Let's see. I've got a message that says close all rooms, but it's like a button. But the pool room is still there and the back room is still there. And I can jump in or I can close them all.
So how did you access those once you rejected the invitation? How are you?
You click on the breakout rooms icon at the bottom of the screen. You click on it, and that
I no longer have that icon.
You don't even have the breakout rooms icon?
No, so
okay.
Wait, can you do me a favor?
Yeah, I'll create a breakout room. I'll create one for you.
Okay. But make sure that so what I'm going to ask you to do is manually assign and then only assign me to a room and then open them.
Yeah, no problem. It looks like my only option right now is to close all rooms. Shall I just do that to clear the deck? Okay, closing all rooms. Currently there's room or back deck rather. I'm closing them all. Do you want me to take a screenshot? Oh, I'll take a screenshot, shall I? Might as well. That way you get my experience as well as yours, just for completeness. Let me just fire that off while I'm thinking about it.
Another option we have is we can use FaceTime on our phones in parallel.
Yeah. This is easier for me, believe it or not. I know how to send email. We used to call it electronic mail back in the day. All right, so I'm going to close all rooms. Just sent it. Boop. Rooms are closed. Oh, and now, but that's interesting because now I've got a whole different window, which I'll screen share, screen capture. Because the rooms are still available. I wonder if it's a bug.
Well, once you close them out, I think you can still open up the whatever rooms you created last time. I think it's supposed to do that.
Oh, okay.
But they, after I switched off and gave you host, they didn't show up for me. And so I think that you would have to open them up again in order for me to see them.
Okay, well here, right now I'm going to assign you. I can delete the room, I can rename it, or I can assign it. Those are my options.
So assign me to one of them and then open them.
Okay, I'm assigning it just to Nolan. And then it says I can either add a room or open all rooms. I'm going to put open all rooms. And when I put open all rooms, Nolan, did you get the invitation?
Yes.
But only after I clicked open all rooms, right?
Yep.
Okay. Did anyone else get to see a room or a room invitation?
No, I'm on my phone, you see, so I'd have to go into my emails.
Okay, don't worry about it. Okay. So, all right.
Okay, so am I? Oh, can you make me a co-host? I don't think I'm co-host anymore.
Yeah. Make co-host. Your co-host.
Awesome. Okay. So now I'm gonna try to join the pool room, and then I'll see what happens.
I just don't want it to be one of those situations where it's like the dude who took too much acid and then like never came back. So make sure you come back to reality. Leave a crumb trail, as Natalie would say.
Okay.
He's gone. James, Natalie, Nolan's gone.
So am I taking it that if you try to switch over host during a meeting, it'll get cut off? But if you assign someone for the next meeting, when they switch on, they can continue that meeting at another time.
I don't think I'm understanding your question.
Like on that site there, no, you tried it earlier there. Yourself and Nolan were on, and he switched the host over to you, but then you got cut off or something.
Oh, you're talking about the live streaming getting cut off.
Yeah.
Okay. So the live streaming got cut off many hours earlier, and we still don't know the cause. And we don't think that the cause was changing hosts. Why do we think that? Why don't we think that? Because
No. I don't mean on the block party even and the live stream on YouTube. I mean just there as you were sampling that there, I thought that's what you were saying there, that if you were on that site there that you're checking out, what would happen if you switched hosts during a live stream? I thought that's what you were saying.
Twitch, right?
Twitch, yeah.
Okay, so let's unpack this slowly, because now I understand what you're asking. Okay, so we started live streaming on Twitch at the very beginning of the block party, right? Hey, Nolan's back. Nolan's back, and we're gonna have a party. Hey la, Nolan's back. I think I'll have another bong. Hela, hela. Okay, so I was answering a question that James posed, but first I'm setting the context. So we started live streaming on Twitch at the beginning of the block party. And then at some point, I don't know, 15 hours into it or something, it stopped live streaming. We didn't know why, or who knows how many hours into it, 12, 10, doesn't matter. But it stopped live streaming onto Twitch. And we still don't know why. One hypothesis is that when I changed from cable connection to my computer to Wi-Fi, maybe it dropped then, we don't know. But here's what we do know is that changing hosts does not affect the live stream on Twitch. Why do we know that? Because a few minutes ago, I made Nolan host, didn't mess with the live streaming. He punted it back to me, didn't mess with the live streaming. So that's why we think we know that changing host doesn't mess with the live streaming. It must have been something else. But that's still a hypothesis. It could.
I got you. I'm up to speed now. I got you. I was a little bit confused there because I missed bits and pieces earlier. So yeah, I get you now.
Sure. Yeah. So all right. Well, did you have fun in the breakout room, Nolan?
It was a little bit lonely.
Well, did you break it out in the breakout room? You can tell us.
I don't want to talk about it.
All right.
Did you do
Okay,
a
but
little
it was
boogie?
cool because I was watching the Twitch stream, but I was in the breakout room, so I could still watch what was happening in the main room. So there's kind of an interesting something going on there.
It's metaphysical. It's metaphysical. It's like you get to have this out of body experience where you separate yourself from the conversation and you're peering in. It's almost like you died and went to heaven and you're looking back down on the conversation. Now happily proceeding without you. That kind of sucks.
Well, think of it this way. Let's say there's some basically some people could hang out in one of these breakout rooms. They can be watching what's going on in the main room, but then at any point in time, they can just shout out like in the breakout room and basically start a conversation, and they're not interrupting the main room. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, and that's actually a scenario that you and I talked about. We didn't think about it in terms of technological tools. We just talked about it conceptually, that people could have a side conversation while still listening in to the main thing. And that's what you've now figured it out technologically, how to do that.
Yeah, especially if we have someone who's doing a featured talk and they want to like on the block party, so they come in on a side channel there like that, and they're involved in the collective intelligence conversation. But if that talk, when he's finished that talk, and if that talk needs to continue, or other people want to discuss something in that talk, like there's the breakout room continues straight away there and then, while the block party continues with its agenda. It's fantastic. Yeah, it just fits all right.
Totally. So it's like if we're talking about something interesting, and then Adam and Cesare want to argue for 2 hours about money, they can just go to a breakout room and argue for 2 hours about money while we continue talking about whatever interesting thing we were talking about.
Exactly. If Adam, like the problem last week was just that Adam hadn't an prearranged slotted time, but he thought he had when we had the 10-minute break and the recording was stopped. That was just the confusion there. But if Adam had tuned in from the beginning on one of those breakout rooms, and his conversation was going somewhere for some of the people, there would have been no problem and no confusion, and because that conversation could have carried on over there in the other room. They could sort that out between them while the block party continues. So it's a brilliant, peaceful way of carrying it on, all right?
Totally. Hey, and Nolan, when you were in the breakout room, could you record? Did you have recording control?
Yes, because I'm co-host, I think.
Well, that's awesome. That's super freaking awesome. Yeah, so we don't have to lose any of that content as long as
There's, yeah. There is one more thing I would like to try, which is since we have James with us as well, could you do the same exact process, manually assign, but instead manually assign James and don't assign me?
okay.
If that's possible at this point. You would have to close the rooms down, I'm sure.
All rooms. Open all rooms. Close all rooms. I don't even see James here listed, which is weird. Add a room. Oh, assign. Okay, so I'm going to assign. There we go. I'm assigning James to the pool room.
Now, can you unassign me? Is that possible?
Yeah. I can move to. I'm going to move you. I'm going to. Unassign you. Exchange. What the hell is this exchange shit?
It's if you have a bunch of people distributed, like say you have 2 rooms, right?
Yeah.
Then you can just swap out these people.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Well, I can delete your room, Nolan. You're on the back. It says back deck. But you're not on the back deck. You're here with us. So why does it say back deck? And likewise, it says pool rooms, James. Oh, open all rooms. I'm going to open the rooms now and see what happens. Okay. So James, do you have an invitation now to join the pool room? And only answer if it's convenient. All right. Looks like James disappeared on us. He's in the pool room.
I'm going to see if I can catch up with them.
Well, do you have access to the pool room?
I will be able to jump from the back deck to the pool room because I'm a co-host.
Oh.
But it's kind of weird. I have to go to the back deck first because that's where you invited me. So there's kind of some weird stuff, but I'm gonna try it anyway.
You've always been a rear entrance kind of guy. So anyway.
Uh-huh.
Ah. Oh, all right. If you guys can hear us, Nolan, you're probably eavesdropping on us on Twitch or something. So I hope you guys are enjoying your eavesdroppage. Natalie and I are certainly enjoying being eavesdropped upon. Oh, it's almost 5 in the morning here. What a journey into conversation land. The conversational domain. Emery, you're back to life.
How's it going?
Good, good, good. Hey, check it out. So Nolan and James are also here. They just happen to be in a breakout room. I'll tell you what, let's have some
See
fun.
them here.
Why don't you join them in a breakout room? I think that'd be pretty fun. Let's see here. How do I?
You have breakout rooms?
Yeah, here. I'm gonna just give me a second and I'm gonna like assign you. Wait, I think I would have to close all rooms or something. Deck. Emery, assigned to, oh, there we go. Okay. I'm going to assign you to the pool room. If you accept my invitation, you can go land on those guys. Give it a try, and then you'll come back when you're ready.
How do I come back?
Don't worry about it. It'll be obvious. They'll help you. They'll help you come back. Don't worry about it. You come back when you feel like it. Don't tell me you're stuck in breakout land.
No, we're not stuck, but while I'm here, I would like to run.
Yeah, sure.
So, okay, I'm going to type a message.
Okay.
I just sent it. Did you get it?
No, didn't get jack squat.
Okay. Okay, so just so everybody knows, Jamin can't see what we're typing in the chat here. Yeah. But Jamin,
Yeah.
can you try messaging us?
Yeah. Let's see. I'm just gonna put everyone.
Jamin's going to try messaging us.
Okay, I typed in hello.
We can't see it.
Hey, is Emery there with you?
Yeah, he is.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. So they're really operating like separate rooms, separate Zimmers.
What I'm really curious about
Hmm.
is if you come into this room,
Yeah.
I wonder if I'm assuming it'll stop you recording, but I'm wondering if the stream still goes.
Okay, let's give it a try, shall we?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Joining the pool room.
Any surprises?
What's up, dude? What's up? What's up? What's happening in the pool room? So where's the beers at, dudes?
Hey,
It looks like it's still recording. All right. Anyway,
so it just the recording just follows you.
apparently, is it still twitching that way?
It's still on Twitch, but and it looks like it's playing, but it's just black. So it's I think it's just doing the main room.
Well, that's
So-
fascinating.
I'm gonna go back to the main room. Maybe wait like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see like the eye pop up on Twitch.
Yeah,
and
no
then
problem.
you guys pop up.
You got it. You got it. We'll wait half a minute.
Okay.
All right.
the chat follows you, eh? Jamin,
Huh.
did you notice? When
Uh,
you go to the breakout room, the chat follows you.
yeah, right. Oh,
But you can't chat to the breakout room.
You can't back. Okay. Gotcha.
No, that's the opposite way around. I know what you're saying. It's whatever's going on the block party chat on your
That's
platform.
what I meant.
Yeah, we see the chat from that, but we can't chat back to you from the breakout room. But we're still keeping up with what's going on in the chat, and we can continue our conversation in the breakout room, settle that little issue
Yeah.
because of it.
Yeah,
And then
in the
carry on
breakout
back.
room. In the breakout room, we can continue to chat together, but we can't. I guess the breakout room could see what we're chatting about. I would imagine, but when Jamin was still in the other room, I don't know if he tried. I don't know if he tried to chat, to send us a message to the
I did.
breakout room.
I did, and it didn't work.
So there you go.
Yeah. I mean, only Natalie was able to see it.
Yeah, yourself and Natalie were able to chat on there, but we were still able to see those chats coming up on the breakout room.
You were or weren't?
Yeah, we were.
You were?
That's what Emery is saying. We were able to see your chat, but we couldn't communicate with you. So we were still kind of able to keep up with tabs on the chat in the block party while we were in the breakout room, but we couldn't communicate. But that is still the beauty of the breakout room, is because like the people in the block party won't want to be tuned into the conversation in the breakout room anyway, because that's a conversation that broke away from the main conversation in the block party, which needs to stay on track. So that's the idea of the breakout room anyway. So those who get sidetracked in the main agenda and 10 facets of or directions break out from one subject, they go off and discuss those little ideas that they want, rather than breaking the flow of the main block party and the agenda continues. That's the beauty of it. Like.
Yeah.
Cutting edge technology.
Yeah.
So this is your first time using Twitch?
Me?
Yeah.
I've actually never used Twitch. I've seen people use it. Here, I'm going to ask Nolan to chat something. I just want to be able to see what happens. Let me just call him up real quick. Oops.
Try saying it in the chat to Natalie or me, and see if Nolan will see it come up in the chat in the.
Hey Nolan, you're in the main room, right? Could you do me a favor and type something into the chat window now, and I'll let you know if I see it. No, we don't see anything from you, Nolan. So James, Nolan just typed something into the chat window from the main room, and we cannot see it here. Yeah.
I think in the main room, I've done this as a host before. I think from the main room, where I've seen it, you can select to everyone in all rooms. So as the host, you can send out broadcast messages.
Yeah.
But not in a specific room. My understanding that it's only the host that can do that.
Okay. So I sent a message a couple of minutes ago from the breakout room saying, Jamin here from the breakout room. Can you see that?
No.
Okay. So Nolan can't. Yeah, so Nolan can't see my stuff, and I can't see his stuff between rooms.
Right, and I just sent a message, I think, to you, Jamin, because I'm not sure if I got the message in right or if it came up there. But I sent a private, it was either private or public here on this platform to you, just saying, or to Nolan, saying, "Can you see this, Nolan?"
Yeah,
so
but you sent that to Jamin privately.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, privately. Yeah. See, I need to like if you send a message to all of us here now on this platform, Jamin. Will Nolan see that flash across his breakout room?
No, anything that you and I and Emery type in here in the breakout room, Nolan cannot see.
All right, okay.
He cannot see.
That's what I don't understand what I was breaking up or what was flashing across the bottom of the screen when we were in there, Mr. Emery and Nolan a while ago. So because that's what Emery was on about. We could still see chat there.
No, what I was on about was that I could see previous entries in the chat here from Natalie, from from Dree.
That's older stuff. That's from hours ago.
Yeah.
Oh, they were from way age. All right, sorry, Emery. All right, sorry.
So
I thought you were on about earlier.
I assumed that the chat followed.
Nolan?
I would like you to try out.
Okay, that's sorry about that, Emery. That was just in the confusion on my behalf.
Selecting in the menu where you select who to send it to.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to tell me if there's any options besides. If there's what options do you have?
I have three options: everyone, Emery, co-host, and James.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Cool.
pretty much all the things I wanted to try.
Okay. Awesome.
So unless you guys want to keep talking without me.
No, goodness. Okay. All right, guys. Let's head back to the main room. I'll see you guys back in the main room. I'm gonna make sure you guys make the transition successfully first. I'll be the last one off the ship.
We stayed live streaming the whole time.
From the main room, I presume.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, James.
Yeah.
You want to do me a favor and leave this room and go back to the main room?
Okay. Just leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, I'm back.
All right, so it looks like, Jamin, your recording just moved with you from room to room, because it was not recording in here before you got back, but the live streaming continued, and when it was just Natalie in here, it just showed up as black on the live stream with the little Zoom watermark. So now we know how breakout rooms work. So cool.
Make this into an instructional video. Post it on YouTube.
Yeah, they probably got a lot of those actually.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't make sense to a lot of folks.
Yeah. Jamin, you're on mute.
The thing is, we don't have to make a promotional video of it, because it's just something we'll implement during conversations if such a need arises and a breakout room is necessary. So it's just something we implement, and the valuable lesson we learned there now was that it's just that the main host of this party doesn't leave and go into the other party if we don't want to interfere with the live stream. Simple as that. But anyone else can be transferred into that breakout room, deal with the issue, and come back to the main topic that's carrying on here. Brilliant.
Now, is the Twitch live stream, is that automatically recorded on Twitch?
That's a good question.
It probably stays on your profile. You have an account, so it'll. I mean, I have a Twitch account myself. You know, I used it a couple of times, but I did one live stream, and I never ended up using it very much because I saw it a lot more like a gaming platform. You know, a lot of people that have accounts are playing games, you know, and different stuff like that. But it's shifted in these newer days, right? Later days. So there's a lot more varied content, you know, apart from the original intention of the site was to cater to the gamers. Now it has a greater varied content.
Yeah, totally.
And D-Link is the same way. D-Link is, yeah, it's even more, it's even more so.
D-Link is my favorite rap star.
D-Link?
I'm just joking. I was playing off the previous reality TV show prototype.
Well, up to manage, I guess. Eh? You've got the chat at Twitch too. If you end up with a lot of people going to watch, if they want to participate in something in a chat.
You guys, I'm going to walk around a little bit. I've been sitting down for too long. I just need to stretch a little bit, but I'll still be listening in. So I'll be listening in.
I gotta take a bathroom break myself.
All right, maybe we take an informal break. I'll pause the record. No, who cares about recording? Let it roll.
I can still hear as well.
Me too. Me too.
Let it roll. You know, using Facebook, you know, I'm so surprised though that people just don't take full advantage of the possibilities that they have at their fingertips. You know, I mean, you make a post in Facebook, you can leave a comment, right? And some people have tons of comments, right? And back and forth, you can reply to any comment in any given post. But you can leave a photo, you can interact on any post. Now, you can leave a video. I mean, I don't know why people don't leave more video comments. It's not hard to do. Simple app. You make your little video and you post it in your comments. It's so simple. There's another site. It's called MeWe, which is similar to Facebook. It's a social platform. You make your post and people comment, and you can leave a voice comment. So they write it, and the app works right in the post automatically. You don't have to do it in your own app. So that's a neat function. I started using it when I was interacting there. I thought, hey, this is totally great. You can leave a voice comment, and people didn't catch on. I don't know. I was so shocked. I was shocked. Like, come on, guys, it's easy here. You just press on the little button there, and you could. But I guess people don't have a microphone or something. There's some reason why people, I guess, don't take advantage of these tools. You know? Not that I'm any kind of a geek here. It's just my observation.
I'm gonna get a snack. I'll be back in like a minute or two. Out of earshot. In the meantime,